Have you ever looked at an university offer and wondered, like, am I making the right decision or am I about to make a very expensive mistake? And that was me. When I told people that I was considering an MBA in China, I received the same question again and again. Will the degree be recognized? Can you get a job after graduation? And what about the language? And honestly, those were exactly the question I was asking myself. In this video, I want to share how I evaluated those concerns for me and what I discovered during my research and why I eventually decided to say yes to China. I want to start with something important. Like many students, I spend hours comparing countries, university ranking, costs, scholarship, opportunity, and career outcome. As a chef who has spent like years working in hospitality, I know how valuable education can be. And I also know that education is an investment. And when you come from a middle class background, every major decision matters. So before I became excited about China, I became skeptical about China. I just wanted answers, not marketing, not promises, real answers. So what I did, I started searching some question that thousands of international students search every year. And those questions became the framework of my decision. The 5 questions that changed the course of my decision is question number 1, is an MBA from China recognized? This was probably my biggest concern. A degree only has the value if it's respected by the employers and the institution. So what I learned is that recognition depends heavily on the university itself. Top Chinese business schools have a strong international reputation and appear in global rankings as well. At the same time, students should also verify accreditation and recognition requirements for the country where they plan to work afterward their study. Okay, so for me, this was reassuring, and I realized that I wasn't simply choosing a country, I was choosing a specific university, and that distinction really mattered the most. Now come to question 2 is how much does an MBA in China cost? So this was the second major factor. Compare with many programs in the countries like the United States or the United Kingdom, China can offer a much more affordable path, but affordability doesn't mean free, okay? So tuition, accommodation, insurance, daily living expenses, travel, and personal cost all add up at the end of the day. So what made a huge difference in my research was the availability of scholarship. China offers a variety of government and university funded scholarship that can significantly reduce the financial burden. As someone planning his future carefully, this became a major advantage. Now comes to question 3, is there a language barrier? You might ask. The honest answer is yes and no. Many MBA programs are taught entirely in English, and the classes assignment, presentation, and academic work all be completed in English. But life doesn't stop at the classroom door. Ordering food, taking a look, talking to the local people, and like building friendship, networking with professional, understanding the culture. That's where Mandarin becomes incredibly valuable. And this was actually one of the reasons I became interested in learning Mandarin. Instead of seeing Mandarin as a problem, I started seeing it as an opportunity, a skill that could open doors far beyond the degree of MBA itself. Now let's come to the question 4, and that was, can international students find jobs after graduation? This was the question that probably mattered the most, because at the end of the day, education should help to create opportunities. Now what I found was encouraging but realistic as well. China offers opportunities, especially for the student interested in international businesses, trade, hospitality, technology, and multinational companies. However, the competition is real. Students who speak Mandarin and build a strong professional networks often have a significant advantage. That taught me an important lesson. The MBA alone will not create success. What you do during the MBA matters just as much as the degree itself. Now come to the question 5. What are the biggest challenges? Now every country has challenges, every university have the obstacles, and every student have to go through the circumstance. So the biggest concern I found were cultural adjustment, different teaching styles, language, and being far from my family. which I've done that before. I appreciated that these challenges were discussed openly because realistic expectations are better than unrealistic dream. Knowing the difficulties in advance actually gave me more confidence, not less confidence. Now, what made me say yes? The fact is, after weeks of research, one thing became very clear that China was not only simply offering degree, it was offering like an exposure to one of the world's most important economies. Several statistics caught my attention, by the way. Many leading Chinese MBA programs report like very strong employment outcomes shortly after the graduation. Some schools report a significant salary growth as well among the graduates. China has also become one of the largest destinations for international students in Asia, and these numbers didn't make the decision for me, but they gave me the confidence that China was not unusual or a risky path. It was a path that the thousands of international students had already chosen. What particularly interested me was finding a program designed specifically for international students. An English medium MBA program would allow me to focus on the business education while gradually improving my Mandarin and adapting to the life in China in general. Now that combination felt really practical, and practical decision usually age better than emotional decision, I would say. Now let me share the real reason, that doesn't appear in the ranking brochure or the statistics. For the last several years, I have worked as a pastry chef, and my career has already taken me beyond my hometown. And through that journey, I have learned something, that growth usually happens when you step into unfamiliar places. Every major opportunities in my life started with uncertainty: a new city, new faces, new job, a new challenge. And China felt like the next version of that story. Not because it was guaranteed, not because it was easy, but because it represented growth. And I wasn't looking for the safest option. I was looking for the option that would help me to become a better professional and a broader minded person. And after all my research, China felt like the right choice for the next chapter. Of course, this is only my perspective. Your goals may be different, your career plans may be different, and your ideal university may be somewhere completely different place. But if you are currently researching about MBA programs in China, I hope this video helped you to think through, and the decision became a little more clear for you. If you are considering studying in China, let me know in the comments. What is your biggest concern right now? Is it the cost or the career, opportunities afterward, language, or something else entirely? I read every comment, and I would genuinely love to hear your thoughts. And if you'd like to follow my journey from India to China, along with everything I learned about studying abroad, career growth, and building an international future, feel free to subscribe and hit the like button. Thank you for spending a few minutes with me today. I will see you on the next video.